Hey there. Hey Corey. Oh, it went good. I don't know if he told you anything about it, but he had pulled his valve cover off recently, and he accidentally switched plug wires 5 and 6. So when we first took his car out, it ran kind of poorly, and it was backfiring like crazy. But other than that, it was a cool night, especially getting to see the Plunkett's other Fairmonts. So it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, it's been helping me figure out where I need to go with my 5 leg swap. One man shop, Robbie, what's up? Sorry about the last live stream. I don't know what happened. My phone just crashed or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just out in the garage tonight. I got two of the Crown Vic wheels painted tonight, and I am super stoked with the way the dark bronze is turning out. I'm going to show you guys that here in a minute. It's just what I wanted. It's so dances, and it's got a nice caramel, um, amber caramel metallic look. It's so cool. So, in fact, I'll take you guys out there here in a second. But yeah, I still have to prep the backside of one of the Crown Vic wheels. Just knock it down. Well, here I don't have the best battery life right now, or my battery's not. It's like less than 25% charged, so I've been to the charger back there. But this is the last wheel I have and I've already somewhat addressed. And I mentioned in the last upload I wasn't trying to get this perfect anyway, but I bought a wire wheel for my die grinder, so I'm gonna that down here tonight. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, hey Steven, welcome. So here are the two wheels I've painted, and actually they're showing up. The brown's showing up good in this light. But see if I'm like there, they look almost black. But yeah, I got my shop light out here, so you can kind of see how much the metallic is. I'm gonna put a post up on Instagram later today that I did in the actual sunlight after one coat. But I'm super happy with the way this is turning out. I'm just tickled. So anyway, I thought I'd share that. Yeah, Steven, I better bring these inside. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Robbie. That was like my grandmother's. And when we put her when they moved her to a nursing home, somehow I ended up with that. That's been years ago. I think my parents ended up with it first, and then they asked if I wanted it, and I did. So let's see here. I'm gonna go plug you guys in on the deck lid of the Fairmont, and I'm gonna bring in those painted wheels. They've been drying for probably at least 40 minutes, and that was the third coat on them. But still, if it's gonna start to rain heavier than that, I'm gonna rather have them inside than. Okay, so I'm back, and if you guys saw the title, the crux with Project Blue Fairmont, it's yeah, Steven, it's just barely. Um, I mean, it's not even. There's a break in the clouds here. There you go. That's kind of what we're looking out outside. The crux of tonight's conversation, sorry about that, is regarding my 5 leg swap. And yeah, Eric, the first stream, something, I don't know if it was my router, my phone, whatever, something just froze up. So here we are. The crux of the situation is, I guess I didn't do enough research when I selected the Lincoln Mark 7 rear end. It's going to work. There's nothing wrong with the rear end itself, or even running the brakes. What I'm up against right now is basically around piston or caliper piston diameter. And on those, on the Mark 7s, they have such a big rear piston, 45 millimeter, that I really have to upgrade my front brakes now to pair with it. And I can get into the science of that a little bit later. I finally got someone to explain brake science to me in a way that I could finally wrap my head around why people were telling me it wasn't going to work. So basically, if I have to upgrade the front brakes, that also means I have to upgrade the front spindles, which also means I have to now get rid of the spindles I bought for this, which, well, I didn't buy spindles. I bought rotors, early Ranger rotors, which was going to let me just basically swap rotors and front disc brakes and everything work. So basically what I'm up against is that back piston is so big, it's 45 millimeter diameter versus the front 60 millimeter diameter, that the amount of fluid it takes to operate the back compared to the amount of fluid it takes to operate the front, my front brakes will engage, so we'll get to basically 100% operating function so much faster than the rears will get to whatever they needed to be complementary to the front. And so basically it would be an uphill battle that I was never going to win. Even if I upgraded the master cylinder, which I'm going to have to do now anyway. I was so happy today because I thought on a forum I had come down to eliminating all the variables to where all I had to do was basically buy like a $30 master cylinder and I could keep my stock brake lines and everything. But then explained to me, it's basically, like I said, to oversimplify it, it's the size, the diameter of that rear piston that I was always going to be fighting. So anyway, and the struggle is also like, because the Mark 7 pairs with a certain. All right, we'll hold off here for a second. It's all smooth on my end. So I don't know. Sorry about that. Hey, Carmoz, welcome to the live stream. Are like special that, not special, but I mean like there's no other. They're like 10.15 inches in diameter, whereas like some of the other options for rear disc brake cars are, well, for one, 4 lugs, or just a different diameter, like 10 inch. Like I think the Turbo Coupe and the SVO, the Fox bodies are rear disc, but they're like 10 inch diameter. Yeah, Steven, that's basically what I'm getting at. No, Eric, no Fairmonts came stock with it. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to now do the SN95 spindle swap for sure. But I now need a 73 millimeter front piston, which I'm not sure what all cars came with, because as I understand it, the 60 millimeter front caliper versus the 73 millimeter front caliper externally look the same. It's just the piston size that's different. So I don't remember. I haven't done this much digging yet. I think SN95 stock, like a V6 at least, has 60 millimeter fronts and 38 millimeter backs, I think. But I don't know that for a fact. So yeah, so Craig, yeah, but Steven, what rear calipers are you running? Because if you're running SN95 rear calipers, 93 GT, I'll look into it, Craig. A Cobra, I think, would have what I need. I mean, basically, my front caliper is a 60 millimeter caliper, as it is. So But anyway, Steven, I'm actually thinking of seeing if I can convince John, which, by the way, you guys will see some snippets from. Steven was nice enough to organize for me the ability. Yeah, Craig, that might be something we end up doing. I've got some leads going already, trying to find. Huh. Yeah, Steven, okay. Well, I mean, I can flip it around and show you again a close up on the live stream here if you want to look at my caliper, but yep, Eric, you're right. Zephyr's rebadged Fairmont. Oh, where is that? Okay, so Steven, so if you guys don't know who Steven is, he's the guy that I featured the Bullet Fairmont on my channel. So if you haven't seen that video, just go to my channel and search through my videos and go check out his car because it's sweet. He let me ride in it. That was awesome. The thing pulls awesome. When we, I won't disclose the reason why it wasn't running on the way out, but on the way back, that thing is a fun car. But he set up going over to another local Fairmont enthusiast's place, who's got two, and he had a lift, so we got up on the lift. And Jason, welcome to the live stream. You might be interested in this garb I'm wearing, but so anyway, what I'm getting at is this other local Fairmont enthusiast. He was trying to get me to buy some lowering springs last night. I might see if I can swap him my Ranger rotors because he's a fan of the Ranger rotor setup. Because basically, I would be losing $9 on the deal what I paid for those rotors. Basically, the guy who sold me them, I got rotors, but he just left them on his stock spindles. So I got rotors, spindles, and the proper wheel bearings and dust cap that you need. So it's like basically everything you need. It was just easier for him to just keep everything on the hub assembly. So I'm thinking if I could, I'm going to see if I can convince this John is this guy's name. Maybe he'd trade me those that setup for those lowering springs, because those lowering springs are going to look good. Would look good with these wheels. Yeah, Steven, I know he has his other ones 5-lug swapped, but just seeing the parts that he keeps on hand, knowing if he talked himself into another Fairmont build, then he'd have this on his shelf. Looking at, I figured they might be more useful to him than lowering springs. If he was wanting to get rid of the lowering springs, maybe. I figured I'd try. I figured I'd ask. He could say no. I mean, obviously the probability's probably higher that he'd say nah, no thanks, more than well, sure. But I figured I'd try. Hey, Art Cricket, welcome, man. So, but yeah, I'll. So that's where I'm at. I hung in yesterday and everything else. Let me get my shop light handy. First off, so here's my horde. Here are the Ranger. I've shown these in a previous video before, but these are the Ranger rotors, and then like I said, the previous owner, he had the proper, their on bearings and the dust cap, and because he got a killer set on some deal on a set of SN95 spindles, so he just took everything out as one unit. But anyway, and then of course my heads. Yep, good eye, Art Cricket. That was with a collaboration with AKA R Life that I did that. But somebody comment something in the comments because I missed a few and it goes away after a while. Steven made some point. But yeah. Thanks, Craig. Yeah. Okay, Eric. Yes, it is the Fairmont stock 7.5-inch axle, but I swapped in an 8.8, and yeah, I got my shop light. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, again, Steven, I need to figure out what diameter those front piston, because if there's another set of 60s, it's not going to do me any good. Sorry for all the shakiness here. Shall I plug the phone back into the charger here for a second while I string out the extension cord? Yeah, okay, Steven, that makes sense. I did read some of that. What does PBR stand for, by the way? And don't say Pabst Blue Ribbon. Okay. Yeah, I saw everybody throwing that acronym around, and there was like a sticky 5-lug thread on Four Eyed Pride, and it was referred to, those brakes were referred to as PBR brakes, like, no short of like 4 times, and I'm like, so I'd like to know what that means. Okay, shop light. Far away from the router. As soon as I get close to my rear axle, it wants to buffer. So this again, careful. Regular. I understand I have to bleed my brakes when I get them installed. I will do that. Are you meaning please bleed them regularly, like more than once after I get it going, or are you trying to say please bleed certain? Oh, that's what the PBR. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks, Will. PBR is the manufacturer. So I assumed it was sort of like when I was doing. When I was doing my Dana 30 swap a long time ago, I remember WJ's had Tevis calipers and Akabono calipers, so I figured PBR was similar in that respect, but didn't know. So Eric, 9802 Cougars, that seems like, is that for front caliper pistons? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, is if the Mark 8s and the Cougars are basically SN95 geometry stuff. Just be good to know in case there's another way to get the parts I need. But yeah, let's see. I could maybe try popping off the front tire, maybe. I don't know if I feel like doing that. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's basically all I wanted to cover. I usually don't like going long minutes on these solo live streams anyway. So unless you guys have some questions, I'll leave you some time to ask me some questions. I'm just going to shut it down and get back to work to prepping the insides of that last wheel so I can paint the other tube maybe tomorrow or Thursday or something, and then get these 17s wrapped in some tires for the weekend. That'd be awesome. So questions if you got them. Oh, well, so Craig, I guess I answered your question before you asked it because of the lag of the live stream, but yeah. Hey, Steven, that's a good deal. Brakes and spindles, okay. Eric, I need so according to the masters, again, it's the Mark rear calipers that's throwing everything. 1 1/8 inch bore. Some people are getting by with 1 inch bore ones, but again, it goes back to the if I'm to push the fluid for 45 millimeter rears and 73 millimeter fronts. That's what apparently what was stock on Mark 7s. Well, I take that back. Mark 7s had this funky electric cylinder. So to have Craig, I think '04 is when I can stop using spindles. It's the SN95 generation. Um, they still work a bit wider. I think their hub's a little bit bigger. So Eric, my objective, and I've said this several times. And I'm not like trying to like make you feel guilty here or anything. I just I couldn't even tell you which in this because I couldn't tell you which videos I've mentioned it in, but I know I've mentioned it several times. Um, it was never about rear discs. The objective was more about a 5-lug swap. And when I was looking around for used parts at the time I bought my rear axle, the one that the market had to offer was this Lincoln Mark 7 rear. So because they're stock 5-lug cars, that was one less thing I'd have to buy for an upgrade. It also was a track lock rear. It also met I wanted better gears. So I wanted 5 lugs and better gears were the two things I wanted. It just so happened to offer also um, rear discs and track lock. So it was more about those other two than the last two. But yeah, I mean, if I had to do this all over again, I probably would be a drum brake car still. So I'd put pen to paper, but no, don't worry about it, Eric. I'm just saying because I know um, everybody's jumped in on my channel at a different time. I'm just saying, like, I know I brought it up in videos before. Um, so someone out there who maybe has witnessed every one of those times I've said it is probably like, oh gosh, here he goes again talking about the rear disc brakes. So, and then Steven, as far as Hayes goes, Hayes isn't a horrible drive. It's like 3.5 hours from where I'm at. I don't really want to do that just to pick up some parts, but like for instance, I'm gonna meet the guy I'm selling my stock wheels to in Emporia and meeting him halfway. He lives in Wichita, so I think I could probably talk that guy into maybe like an hour. Like maybe I could drive to Salina or something. Maybe he'd, because what happens sometimes is, especially in those far out areas, that is trying to now Facebook message me while I'm trying to talk to you on the live stream. But anyway, sometimes I'll meet people halfway on those things, and because sometimes those people live in remote towns, they need to go to another city anyway to go to a special store. So, oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, Hayesville. Oh, well, sweet, Steven. Well then, so maybe I will just drive to Wichita to sell my wheels and tires to this guy. Oh man, this is crazy because I grew up there. All right, I need to think through this one. This was gonna be Monday. My dad's also painting the house, and it's gonna be really hard to say I can't come down to help him when I'm gonna go down for parts. But that would mean I'd have to get up early, drive to Wichita, make the parts exchange. Dad paint the house for 2-3 hours, and then drive 3 hours back. But well, Hayesville, that's a game changer. So that's really not a bad deal. Especially if I can get my $84 back out of my Ranger rotors. I mean, and I'm gonna pick up some money when I sell my wheels, I could basically make that a wash almost. Yeah, Craig, $1,000 is not an option for a car that I'm basically $300 away from tapping out my $4,000 budget. So I'm not going to turn the $4,000. I'm not about to turn this into a $4,800 car just to fix a simple problem that's not $1,000 problem. So um, it's that's why I have to keep reminding people through this. Like, you can throw money at things to solve problems, but I don't have money, so to do that. I mean, okay. The reality of that situation is, if I really, really, really wanted to put myself in a bad financial situation, I could pull that off, but it's not worth it to me. That's not what I want my channel to be about. I want to make this. I want people to be able to relate to this stuff, and I want to make it within reach of people. And sometimes that means you gotta try. You gotta you gotta try things that you weren't otherwise comfortable with to stick on budget. So yeah, it would be a disservice to what I want my channel to be about anyway. So, but I appreciate the. I mean, sometimes, Craig, not to beat you up. Sometimes just the like when you look at the problem, even though you know that's not the solution I'm going to take, sometimes there might be something hidden in that answer. That's like, oh well, heck, if I wouldn't have ever heard um, about that kit, I wouldn't have known I could buy this one piece out of it or something like that. So, anyway, with that, I guess we'll shut it down. This is going to be 30 minutes here, and I want to get some work done. I only got like half an hour to do some more work, so before I got to go in for the night. So thanks everybody for jumping in. I hope that was interesting to you. I'm gonna be so busy this coming weekend that I'm trying to get content filmed here throughout the week so I can have a Sunday upload. So, needless to say, I'll still have a Sunday upload. That's gonna do it for this live stream, guys. Until next time, peace out.